In fact, we're going to be freeing up, and I've asked Howard Lutnick to get that done with Lee and everybody, Lee Zeldin, environmental. We're freeing up our forests. We're going to be able to take down trees. Right now, we're so restricted environmentally. We're going to be freeing it up with an emergency order. We have an emergency order, and we're going to be freeing up our forests. We have more forests than almost anybody, and great lumber, great trees. We don't need anybody's trees. We don't need trees from Canada or anybody else. In fact, we have to put the slits, as they call them, the area, 50, 60-yard area in between areas of trees. It stops the fire.
Did you get that? He's saying the quiet part out loud again. The Trump-Musk regime is getting ready to gut, plunder, destroy our national parks and forests. Hi, my name is Suri Crowe, and you're watching the MeidasTouch Network. And this story especially pains me to report because nature is near and dear to my heart. Trump just ordered swaths of U.S. forests to be cut down for timber, 280 million acres to be exact, in an executive order that environmental experts have said is almost certainly illegal and overrides the Endangered Species Act. Here is a guy I found on TikTok. He breaks it down pretty well. And by the way, I did fact check him.
Trump just signed an executive order that could wipe out 280 million acres of national forests. And all for what? Cheaper lumber? Let's talk about why this is a massive mistake. This order fast-tracks logging on public lands by bypassing key environmental protections, including the Endangered Species Act. That means entire ecosystems, wolves, bears, and endangered species could be wiped out just to make timber companies richer. And let's be real, this isn't about helping everyday Americans. The big winners here? Corporate logging companies, not you or me. Meanwhile, we lose clean air, water, and critical wildlife habitats. Deforestation on this scale doesn't just hurt wildlife, it fuels climate change. These forests absorb carbon from the atmosphere, and cutting them down speeds up global warming, leading to more extreme weather and droughts. It also threatens the clean water supply for millions of people. This isn't just about trees, though. Our national forests play a crucial role in keeping our environment stable. Destroying them for a quick cash grab is reckless and short-sighted. If you think sacrificing millions of acres of protected land for slightly cheaper wood isn't worth it, share this and speak out. Our forests are not for sale.
Trump is lying and telling people that he is doing this forest clear cutting to prevent forest fires. Yeah, the guy who says he turned on the water in California. This is a blatant lie. He is doing this to make billions of dollars for the paper and timber industry. Land preservation means nothing to Donald Trump. If it cannot be turned into a golf course or a high-rise building or ethnic cleansing for a Trump development in Gaza, he does not care. He mentioned wolves, by the way. Wolves are literally fighting for their survival as it is. And this is a topic that I have followed quite a bit in some of my investigative stories that I've been working on for the last couple of years. During Trump's first time in office, he rolled back endangered protections for wolves. During Biden's administration, fortunately, they were put back on. But remarkably and shockingly, in these red states, Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming, they were exempted. Why there are not federal protections for all 50 states, it's been something that environmentalists have been trying to get Congress to legislate. But of course, MAGA Republicans are never going to do anything that's good for the environment. But just to point that out, it's really a shame because wolves are in huge trouble in those states I just mentioned, and they're barely surviving in the states where they are protected. And just to point out, ranchers absolutely hate wolves. They hate mountain lions. They hate wild horses, and these animals need protections, and they need national lands and our public lands that our taxpayers support to survive and thrive in. Mountain lions, bears, bison, they are keystone species that need our national parks and our lands to survive. But Trump? Oh, no. He's going to clear cut the forests and turn the national parks into his own personal land developments.
The White House has just replaced the chief of Agricultural Forest Services with a logging and timber lobbyist. Make no mistake, folks, these people will sell off our national forests. I know a lot of people want to talk about the national parks, and they will be drilling, mining, and harvesting timber and other resources from these national parks, but it's going to be the national forests that they target first, because those are the ones that people are going to make the less noise about.
It is truly heartbreaking. Trump is clearly dismantling our federal government right in front of our eyes. We can see that. But why do you think thousands of national park rangers and Forest Service employees have been terminated? That's because Trump and Elon Musk don't see a need for them anymore. Everything to them is disposable. They plan on plundering our beautiful national parks, the very conservation efforts that were Teddy Roosevelt's legacy. And the future of some of America's most prized forests now appears uncertain. Under President Joe Biden, the U.S. committed to protecting the last fragments of old growth forests, which contain some of the grandest and oldest trees on earth. We're talking about sequoias, redwoods. As trees soak up planet heating carbon dioxide, protecting the oldest, most carbon-rich trees is seen as a way to help address the climate crisis. But Trump, he reversed Biden's protections his first day in office. Boop! Executive order reversed. And even as he was discussing his extortion deal of pillaging Ukraine's raw earth minerals, you can hear his disdain for environmental regulations.
Exactly how much, because we're going to be putting some money in a fund that we're going to get from the raw earth that we're going to be taking and sharing in terms of revenue. So it's going to be a lot of money will be made from the sale and from the use of raw earth. And as you know, our country doesn't have much raw earth. We have a lot of oil and gas, but we don't have a lot of the raw earth. And what we do have is protected by the environmentalists, but that can be unprotected, but still it's not very much.
And the extreme right at the Supreme Court, I call them political hacks in robes, have shown us they have almost no regard for environmental protections. Just today, they made it easier for American companies to dump sewage into our water systems. And they also overturned what was known as the Chevron doctrine, which directed courts to follow the expertise of federal agencies in interpreting the law, which was going to be a huge blow to environmental groups. But according to some of those same environmental legal experts now, the very fact that Musk and Trump have gutted so many agencies may actually make it easier for climate and environmental advocates to win in court. As the Sierra Club's legal expert Joanne Spalding put it, quote, "If you're going to gut the agency, how are you going to develop the scientific record you need to justify a weaker rule?" You see that? So that could be a flip of coin, ironically, for the good. And what Justin Rylander of the Center for Biological Diversity says, that what keeps him up at night is whether this regime will actually follow the rule of law when and if they lose in court. So this is where we are, folks. Donk is here joining me. We're aligned on this. We are very committed to saving the planet. I'm thinking of my MAGA friends as I'm writing a lot of these stories lately. And before you shout me down in the comments, I'm not really talking to any of them at the moment. What's happening to our country right now is just simply too upsetting for me to even talk to any of them. There was like a few that I was talking to regularly, but we're just at a breaking point. I'm going to do another take on that, but I am not in communication with any of them at the moment. But I am thinking of my old friend Michelle, who loved visiting national parks, and she used to send me pictures of her travels all over these national parks. And as I was writing this or putting this together today, I was like, how can you be okay with this, Michelle? How can you be okay with this? You say you love our national parks and our planet, yet your guy, Trump, is telling us what he and his kleptocrat billionaire buddies are going to do. And that is, they are going to gut our national parks and plunder them. And when it's gone, Michelle, there is no coming back. Do you get that? There is no coming back. The United Kingdom used to have all kinds of biodiversity and gorgeous forests like the rest of Europe. Think of Germany and Scandinavia. But starting in the 1600s and running right through the First and Second World Wars, the United Kingdom just clear cut, like essentially is deforested now. And now scientists and biologists are desperate to reforest the UK because of impending catastrophic ecosystem collapse. Because you see, we need trees and biodiversity in order for us to survive. That is what truly makes a nation rich. That's what makes us rich. Biodiversity, oxygen-rich trees, diversity in the wildlife there. And that is a fact that Trump does not get, nor will he ever, nor will Elon Musk, nor Jeff Bezos, nor the rest of these kleptocrats / oligarchs, whatever you want to call them. I'm originally from Arizona, and I just feel such an urgency to get home and to visit some of the most beautiful national parks and environment in the world before they are gone or plundered or closed because they don't have enough park rangers, or before Elon builds like a rocket launching pad or Jeff Bezos does, because that's the way that these perverse people think. Everything to them is theirs. It's just completely mine mentality. I'm going to build a rocket launching pad in the Grand Canyon or the National Saguaro Park or the Oregon Pipe National Park outside of my hometown, Tucson. That is the way these folks think. And it is just deeply disturbing. So let me end on a positive point. What can we do? Well, for starters, we can donate to these groups that are suing Trump in court. They are nonprofit groups, so they can only keep chugging through donations. If you're looking for which groups, follow me on Blue Sky or Instagram specifically, and I can help point you to some of the groups. Obviously, Sierra Club. Oh gosh, there's so many. And I follow a lot of them. So if you're looking for help, I can help you out there. Today is March 4th. There were protests all across the nation. Get out in them streets. We have to be out there fighting. Keep calling your reps. Let your MAGA reps know. I call my MAGA rep every week, or her office. She's never going to answer the phone, obviously. Hey, I'm watching you. I know what you're doing. By the way, your election is up in a couple of years, if we have elections. But we got to fight like hell. That's the bottom line. And Donk is here with me. Oh, the other thing, thinking of Donk, we were at the vets this morning and have conversations. I was chatting with one of the managers there who loves him. They're like besties. And she's like, yeah, I wasn't really political before, but now things are impacting her. So when we have conversations, here's how things impact you. Let people know, yeah, but everything is political. You know, the air you breathe, the parks you want to go visit, the Medicaid that you're dependent on. I think I got it all out. Anyway, you guys, thanks so much for watching. Thank you for all of your comments. I can't respond to all of them under the videos and YouTube, etc., but I am reading a ton of them. You guys have been so incredibly amazing. I am getting better slowly, a lot more slowly than I wish. But I have an amazing physical therapist and I'm recovering just slowly, but you guys inspire me in spades, right, Donk and all the Midas Mighty, and just stay in the fight. And thank you. Big, huge love. And remember, righteous anger is a good thing. Peace.
Can't get enough Midas? Check out the Midas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.